The U.S. entering a partial shutdown. Congress failing to meet a spending package deadline to prevent funding from running out for some federal departments. And this time around, there have been some agreements. So the Senate now approving legislation to fund each of the remaining agencies through the end of the fiscal year, and also calling for a 2-week bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Now, this allows lawmakers to continue negotiating reforms to DHS, as some are calling for more oversight over immigration enforcement tactics and new rules to enhance officer accountability. We're going to welcome to the show now Republican Alabama Senate candidate and former press secretary to the Secretary of Defense, Morgan Murphy. Nice to see you today. Thank you.
Great to be with you, Anna.
So this spending package must pass the House again. Democrats want to see some reforms put in place on DHS here. Take a listen to what Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said on what needs to happen for Democrats to get on board.
Senate Democrats are very clear on what the nation needs right now. First, we need to rein in ICE and end the violence. That means ending roving patrols. It means requiring rules, oversight, and judicial warrants. Second, we need real accountability over ICE and the Border Patrol. And third, masks need to come off, cameras need to stay on, and officers need visible identification. No secret police.
Well, and then you've got some Republicans criticizing how the president's funding enhancements would be adding to the deficit. But where do you think all of this is headed? Could we see another significant shutdown? What kind of compromise could you see being made?
Well, I hope we're not headed towards a shutdown, because what a catastrophe that is for the country. This fall, the government was shut down for 43 days, and it just does a disservice to every American. It does a disservice to our troops. It does a disservice to our entire economy. The Atlanta Fed said that the economy grew at 5.5%. In the last quarter of 2025, which is incredible given the fact that the government was shut down for 43 days of that 90-day quarter. So I hope that Senate Democrats will let this funding bill go through and just let it come to a vote. It's the filibuster that's holding it up, and it really should be brought to a vote before the senators, and let them decide if they've got the votes to get it through, which I think they do.
Well, a lot of Americans are continuing to watch their bank accounts very closely, watch those budgets really closely, and the president is pushing back on affordability concerns, specifically defending his tariffs. Check out this Wall Street Journal op-ed. Trump says, quote, "My tariffs have brought America back." Trump also saying his economic policies, quote, "have created an American economic miracle." Of course, not everybody agrees. Take a listen to what some lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have said about tariffs from the start. Listen to this.
If you have any kind of retaliation, which I would anticipate, I don't see how we avoid recession.
There's no country in history that has isolated itself and seen its economy get stronger.
They are probably the most stupid economic step taken by a president in this generation.
All right, so that's what they said back on Liberation Day. Some folks, looks like most of those are Democrats there. Polling on the economy, though, it's not lining up with Trump's opinion in this op-ed here. Why do you think Americans are disagreeing with the assessment of the economy where it stands? Where are these pressure points that Americans are feeling that they need some relief and they want the president to help?
Well, I'm a Navy guy, and the economy is like a big battleship. It takes a while to turn it around. I mean, if you think about the rampant inflation that we had in 2022 and 2023, where we're looking at 9%, 10% record inflation, that really just socked it to American consumers where it hurt the most, at the grocery store, at the gas pump. And the president has brought those prices down. His economic plan is clearly working. I mean, we just see the raw data coming out of the Fed. We're seeing incredible growth. We're seeing wages rise. We're seeing inflation under control. And that will eventually be felt by the American consumer, but it's going to take a minute. I mean, the clearest indication to me is when I go to the gas pump here in Alabama, paying a little over $2 a gallon, which is a great thing. And if you get gas prices and energy prices down, and we're really feeling that in this cold snap through the Deep South, but if you get those prices down, people will immediately feel it in their pocketbook. There's a lot more work to be done, though. One of my constituents wrote me today, her Diabetes medication has gone from $40 to $500 a month. We've got to get prices like that under control.
Yeah, your health is your wealth, and you shouldn't have to be wealthy to
Really
be healthy. Let's
It's
switch
awesome.
gears. We're going to go now more global. We'll talk global affairs. I want to get your thoughts on what's happening in Iran. So Trump has said that a, quote, Armada is now in position there in the Arabian Sea. And then we've got some new news that we want to share. The Iranian foreign minister is replying to U.S. Central Command's warnings to Iran about its venture exercises this weekend, posting this on X. If we can go ahead and put that up. Freedom of navigation and safe passage of commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz are of vital importance for Iran as much as it is for our neighbors. The presence of outside forces in our region has always caused the exact opposite of what is declared, they say, promoting escalation instead of de-escalation. All right, so that's what they say. You served as the former press secretary of defense in 2020. How likely do you think it is that we could see things escalate? And do you think Iran will be open to engaging in any sort of negotiations like President Trump is asking?
Well, Iran lecturing the United States about freedom of navigation. What a crock. I mean, they have closed the strait so many times. We've seen how many motorboats, they're heavily armed motorboats harassing commercial shipping in the strait for decades. So that is just absolutely a joke to hear the foreign minister. And you know what they did yesterday is they ran to Vladimir Putin. This tells you who Iran is friends with. I don't think that they can be trusted. They have been harassing, killing Americans and our allies for basically my entire life. In Iran. This president is standing up to them. They know that when Donald Trump says he's going to do something, he generally does it. He said they never have the bomb, and he followed through with that threat and made it a reality and took out their nuclear program. He's telling them now, you're not going to have the bomb, you're not going to have your missile program, and you're going to stop your entire terrorist proxy network in the Middle East. And if you don't do those three things, we're coming after you. So they better take him seriously, because when Donald Trump says, thank you for your attention to this matter, watch out.
Yeah, and it's building up. We're watching it just like we did with Venezuela. All right, let's move on to this. Axios is now reporting the Saudi defense minister warned Trump in a private briefing yesterday that if the United States does not follow through with threats against Iran, the regime will end up stronger. Do you agree? And how significant a threat is Iran to the safety of U.S. troops in the Mideast region?
Well, I mean, they are a threat. Iran has a significant, they're a big country, and they have a significant drone program, and they have been preparing for war with what they call us, the Great Satan, since the very inception of the Ayatollah's regime. And so I do take it seriously. I know Central Command takes it very seriously. The Saudis clearly do. If that leaked information is true, it shows that they want the president to move in. And to see the loss of life there is really heartbreaking. This is not a CIA-backed overthrow of Iran. This is an organic uprising of the Iranian people who want freedom. And it's so nice that we have a president who will stand up and give voice to that. When he says an armada, boy, he has sent an armada. He sent the USS Abraham Lincoln and its entire carrier strike group into the region. And that is a force that it has more firepower than most European nations. So when that shows off, floating off their backyard, 4 sovereign acres of American territory, it should get their attention, and they should listen.
All right, Republican Alabama Senate candidate and former press secretary to the Secretary of Defense, Morgan Murphy, appreciate your time.
Oh, wonderful to be with you. Thank you, Anna. Stay warm.
You too. Best wishes with that. You got to layer up. 43 minutes after the hour, a federal report, listen to this, friends, is shining a new light.